Hey guys, welcome to my next Magic the Gathering video. I said before that I plan to start collecting the Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy booster packs, and I just wanted to show you guys the contents of my first 3 packs. So I have 3 here. Full disclosure, they've already been opened. I usually wouldn't do that, obviously. But in this case, I haven't been playing Magic the Gathering for quite a while, so I wanted to actually know what I was talking about before I actually made a video. So the point of this video isn't about the opening, it's all about just looking at these Final Fantasy cards. I really like this Final Fantasy set for Magic the Gathering. The art design of Final Fantasy is like perfect for Magic the Gathering. Yeah, I know that this could result in me like possibly staging these card openings, and it could look like maybe I was, if I get something good, that I had already put it in there, but I promise when you see these results that you will know that I wouldn't have done that. Otherwise I would have put something much better in here. I wouldn't say the results were all that great. Anyway, this is what a pack of Magic the Gathering play booster looks like. Really cool. I like the art design of Cloud on the front. Anyway, I'm going to take out these first cards. We're just going to go over this as Final Fantasy and Magic the Gathering fans, just to see what I got, and then I have the rares at the end. So Bird, kind of find it strange that this token creature isn't called Chocobo. It looks kind of like a Chocobo. Well, kind of. But anyway, let's just appreciate this artwork. And then we'll look at the holo that I get at the end, which of course, unlike old school Pokemon, doesn't really mean much. You can get commons as holos when it comes to Magic the Gathering. Here's a creature card from Final Fantasy 15. Never played the newer 2 Final Fantasies, but I was a big fan of all the other ones. Played most of them 1 through 13. Except for the MMOs. Light of Judgment, of course, that's a pretty cool looking card from Final Fantasy VI when Kefka destroys the world. Surprised that's just a common because it looks so cool. Aerith Rescue Mission for Final Fantasy VII, that's pretty cool as well. Delivery Moogle. Then here's one of the creature cards that I was most excited about. From Final Fantasy VI, Locke Cole. I think Final Fantasy VI had an awesome cast of characters, and Locke was one of the cooler characters among them. So I thought that was like one of my better gets. Just an uncommon card, though. This was my holo. Just a common holo with Sephiroth on the front. And then my rare was a land card, Clive's Hideaway. Like I said, not great pickups here, but it is what it is. I just wanted to go over this with you guys for you Final Fantasy fans out there. Let's set that there. Now let's go over the second pack. This one, I actually got an art card in it at the front. You always have the possibility of getting art cards in each pack. They're not particularly rare. I think it's almost half of packs. That's the art card that I got in this one. Pretty cool. Alright, let's look at the other ones. Airship from the original Final Fantasy. That's a pretty cool looking card. Final Fantasy IX. Chocobo Kick. Relentless X ATM 092. I found this to be a pretty cool uncommon card. If you played Final Fantasy VIII, you'll remember this boss for sure. I think you have to fight him twice, if I'm not mistaken. Once in his undamaged form, and then once in his damaged form. And as it shows in the card, a big part of this boss fight is like running away from him. I believe you have to walk, otherwise you'll fall and you'll have to fight him again. If you run full speed, then he again you'll stumble and he'll catch you. So that was a pretty memorable boss fight, and I thought that was a pretty cool card to have. Pretty cool character card from Final Fantasy IX, Garnet. I got a Cactuar, uncommon. I mean, that's pretty cool as well. It's technically from Final Fantasy VI, which is my favorite Final Fantasy game. So, again, pretty cool card there. Exactly the type of card that I'm looking for in these booster packs for collection purposes. This was my holo. At least it was an uncommon this time. Still not the coolest holo to get, but again, at least it's an uncommon card instead of just a common this time. And then my rare Zodiark Umbral God from Final Fantasy XIV. Kind of. And then one more pack here. Let me show you what I got. Actually, I got another art card with this one, and it's actually one of my favorite ones, of course, from Final Fantasy X. Again, I ordered the Final Fantasy X Tidus Commander deck, because Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. Tidus, probably not one of my favorite characters. He's alright, but I always like Yuna as one of my favorite female Final Fantasy characters. This is from one of the famous moments of Final Fantasy X. So that was a really cool art card that I got here in this pack. Probably my favorite card out of all three packs, to be honest with you. Now let's move on and look at the other cards. Another Delivery Moogle, my first repeat cards. This was a cool one. Again, one of my favorite creature cards that I received, uncommon Judge Magister Gabranth from Final Fantasy XII. Pretty cool legendary creature card. And again, it also works with counters, so it might work. I'll have to see if it works well with my Tidus deck, but it might. Here is my holo, White Auracite. Unfortunately, that's just a common, so I got holo with a common card. Looks kind of cool, though, with the Auracite. And then my last one was actually a character from one of the casts, from one of the mainline games from Final Fantasy XIII. Hope was definitely not my favorite character from Final Fantasy XIII. I thought the 13 cast was fairly weak. Compared to many other mainline Final Fantasy games, and Hope was definitely one of my least favorite characters in a fairly weak cast, but I got him. Can't really complain about getting one of the main characters in one of those games as your rare, so I won't. Better than the other rares I got, at least for collection purposes. But there you go, you have Hope there, and I'll set that down. Anyway, that's the end of the video. I only opened these three packs to start with. In the future, I'll open these two up here for you in different videos, and I'm looking forward to that. Thanks again for watching, as always, guys, and see you next time.